Welcome, friends. Firstly, I wish you Happy New Year. Today, in the session, we will discuss game in Indian motion. This is the article published in Telangana Today newspaper. Today's date is January 2nd, 2025. So, as usual, it is a small disclaimer, right? So, let me share today's concepts. So, friends, we will discuss entire geopolitical dynamics in Indian motion in 7-tier structure. And right, so we will go through the background first. Later, we will see some of the introduction as it is in the newspaper. So, yes. So, friends, Indian Ocean is the third largest. It is the third largest ocean in the world. It covers approximately 20%, friends. So, if you observe in the world map, so this is the Indian Ocean, which is highlighted in the blue color, is almost one fifth, right? So, 20% means one fifth. So, one fifth it occupied total Earth surface area. If we observe the boundaries, especially in the north, we have Indian subcontinent, right? So Indian subcontinent and in the north, so in this direction, Arabian Peninsula. If you observe in the west, we have entire Africa. In the east, we have Australia, right? In the south, we have Southern Ocean, right? So these are the boundaries. When it comes to important islands, friends, so Madagascar is the largest largest island in the Indian Ocean. Yes. So friends, let me take some dark color here. Yeah. So Madagascar is the largest. So where it is? So friends, this area, friends, whatever the area is there, right? So this area is the Madagascar, which is highlighted in the green color. So we have Maldives, Seychelles, and Sri Lanka, Nicobar Islands. So when it comes to ocean currents in the Indian Ocean, so the ocean currents highly influenced by the monsoons, friends, and with the seasonal reversal direction. So in the Indian Ocean, we have one concept that is water circulation. So mainly the waters of Indian Ocean affected by water circulation. Friends, deep dive this concept. It is a geography concepts and some of the examples like ocean currents like Somali current and Agula currents, which are originates and appears in the Indian Ocean, right? So it is very important. The names of the currents. These are the some of the geo, right? So geography based importance like what are the boundaries, what are the islands, and what are the ocean currents. This is the importance of the geography when it comes to strategic importance, especially trade and commerce. If we observe, this Indian Ocean is a critical route for entire global trade. So nearly 80% of the world maritime in oil, friends, passing through this Indian Ocean. And important choke points are Strait of Hormuz. So it connects to the Persian Gulf. I will show you in the map. And Bab el Mandeb, it is connects to the Red Sea, and Strait of Malacca, which is connects to the Pacific Ocean. So friends, these are the three important choke points in the Indian Ocean. So if you observe here, this is the one. This is the Strait of Hormuz. So this is the one, and we have Strait of Malacca, and the third one is the Strait of Bab el Mandeb. These are the important choke points available in the Indian Ocean. So critical for the maritime trade. This is the trade and strategic importance. And if you see geopolitical significance, especially on the political significance they are mentioning. So strategic naval base regarding to India and China and US. So friends, in these three countries, they are putting their naval bases, right, in the Indian Ocean. Especially, this is the reason of competition for a resource and influence. So, if we observe what are the resources like fisheries, so rich in marine biodiversity and fisheries. So, it contains significance of oil, natural gas, and minerals in the Indian Ocean, right? So, that's why very important this Indian Ocean. And if we observe some more resources like it carries right 35% of global gas reserves, Indian Ocean, and right global gas reserves, and 40% of gold, and 60% of uranium, and two-thirds petroleum reserves. So apart from that, in Indian Ocean we have a lot of rare earth metals, friends. Rare earth metals. So what are these rare earth metals? You should deep dive yourself. This is the wealth, resource wealth, as well as trade and commerce and strategic importance. When it comes to Indian Ocean, we have some key regional organizations. So everybody should know it is IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association. Generally, it promotes cooperation and sustainable development. So very simple. When it comes to Indian Ocean Commission, it generally focuses on the maritime security, fisheries management, and climate resilience. So friends, I have embedded one MCQ regarding to Indian Ocean Commission. It will be very interesting. So we will discuss that concept on that MCQ in detail in the end in the previous questions. Got it? So let me move to key countries, friends. So what are the key countries bordering with the Indian Ocean? Especially these questions may come in the UPSC prelims. So they will give Mozambique, which is not a part, it is not a bordering with the, like this they will give. So it is very important what are the key countries bordering with the Indian Ocean. So it means if we observe, you should know the west countries like Africa. So if it is Africa, so forgive me for the drawing. So is the west, what are the west part, west countries, west portion of Africa, what are the countries are there? You should learn these countries. So there are five countries, so that is South Africa and Mozambique, right? So these are the five countries from down to top, you can see that one, right? So then we have some important countries in Indian Ocean in Asia, that are India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Indonesia, and entire west coast of Australia. So these are the backgrounds what we should learn when we read an article with respect to the Indian Ocean. You should know these are the key points. Uh, Generally, people like students, they directly read the entire article, but they didn't get any conceptual things because they didn't know the entire background. So, like they will read Indian Ocean Commission as it is and IORA as it is, and at least they should know what are the countries are there and what is the purpose. They should know, right? And these are the importance you should know. So now we will move to the China and string of bells. Later, we will see and read from the entire article as it is. So before that, we should know some other concepts. So right now, China's strategy is the string of bells. So it wants entire grip entire world with the help of, right. So road belt initiative and string of pearls, it is enabling. So how this string of pearls is encircling India? So friends, so there are strategic bases and ports. So China networks include Gadwar port, right? If you observe here in the map, it is the Pakistan. So in the Pakistan, right, so Gadwar port, so it is taking as a pearl, right? And when it comes to Bangladesh, Chittagong, that is a port developed by the China. In Sri Lanka, so it took Hambantota port for lease for 99 years, and finally Sri Lanka went to debt port, like debt trap. And in the Maldives, we have Mararo and Djibouti. So these are the string of pearls ports encircling India with help of China's influence. Right, friends? So debt diplomacy. So it is one of the strategy by the China. So if you see Hambantota port, so it is a 99 years lease, right? So 99 years lease. So finally it went to the debt. And another thing is the Maritime Silk Road. So it is a part of BRI and enhance the China's global connectivity. So friends, we have one is the maritime, that is in blue color, the maritime, and in red color we have that is the economic. So economic importance. One is connectivity and second one is the economic. They are mentioning like that, but they are both are part of the part of the Silk Road, right? So maritime means it goes through the sea waters. That's why this is the blue color. And second one is the economic things. So economic initiative, right? So now if you see maritime presence, so establishing naval bases to secure their energy imports trade routes. So that is another strategy. So naval bases we have seen, right? So this is one thing. So now friends, to counter that one, India is also following one of the strategy like necklace of diamonds. So China is the string of pearls, India is the necklace of diamonds. So this is the counter attack by the Indian style. So in this necklace of diamonds, what is the strategic things followed by the Indian government? So friends, so as well as if you counter this, right, whatever the ports, strategic investments made by the China, India is also following the same strategy. So that is India is also developing some ports like, so if you observe, this is the Chabar and Dukham in Oman, Sabang. So let me share the screen. So friends, here if you see, this is the necklace of diamond strategy by the Indian government, right? So if you see in the Chabar, this is the port developed by the India in the Iran. So to counter the Gadwar port in the Pakistan by the China. So in Oman also it is developing one port DUQM by the India, right? So Sabang is also one of the port developed by the India. And in Seychelles, it is the island country. So these are Assumption Islands. This is not a port, but India developing islands. And Shanghai in Singapore. Friends, it is not a port, but it is a in Singapore. It is a naval cooperation. It is a naval cooperation by the Indian government. So some types of ports, some types of cooperation, right? So it is going with the India strategy as part of their strategy, Indian government. If we see in naval collaborations, so just now we have discussed that is Changi naval base cooperation with the Singapore and Quad members. Very very important friends. It is a separate topic, so you need to deep dive yourself. And what are the Quad nations? So we have US, Japan, Australia, and India. So deep dive yourself. And when it comes to military diplomacy, so India is supplying some of the defense equipments like BrahMos missiles, to South Asian nations, especially Philippines. So India is supplying these defense equipments. And another initiative with Japan to counter BRI, that is Asia Africa, right? Asia Africa Growth Corridor. So friends, it is very important to differentiate between Asia Africa Growth Corridor as well as BRI, right? So let me give the some overview. So Asia Africa Growth, right, Corridor focuses on the sustainable and inclusive growth. So they consider the inclusive things and it helps for the sustainable things. When it comes to BRI, that is Belt Road Initiatives, it is the infrastructure and trade dominance, right, friends? When it comes to this China, right? So this comes to these key players, India and Japan. India and Japan are part of this growth corridor. In BRI, only totally led by the China. And when it comes to funding, it is the public-private partnership by the Asia Africa growth. It is the state led by the China, that is BRI. Transparency, it emphasizes the transparency, equity, especially Asia Africa growth corridor. So we know BRI lacks the transparency. So these are the fundamentals. So friends, let me go through the paper right now, and we will read, and after that we will come to this screen sharing the notes as it is. So we will read some of the points and as it is from the paper. So friends, I hope it is visible clearly. If not, let me know in the chat. So here friends, I will highlight some of the points. So just go. Even it is better to read yourself. It will help you improve your reading skills also. So friends, they are mentioning the rivalry between China dated back to 1950. One of the key points, right? So these are the important military and economic relations between the two countries. Just to capture the important points, because you know a lot of content and background. This is the one of the dispute between India and China in the Indian Ocean. And here, friends, in this paragraph, right? So right now I'm reading this paragraph. This is the rich resource. Whatever we had discussed, that content is from these things. So you can just remember the stats. This is the string of pearls. This is the strategy by the China. So in the string of pearls, it is talking about, right? So it is talking about China military and trade and maritime ties. Three important key elements of this string of pearls. So they are mentioning some of the ports encircling entire Indian peninsula. So first port is the Djibouti, entrance of the Red Sea, is a geopolitical hotspot. So Djibouti is the one of the port developed by the China as part of string of pearls. So make a note. So we have one of the right. So Bob, how it is connecting with the Red Sea and Ireland, one of the this is the choke point, right? So in Indian Ocean we have three choke points, and the last the second choke point, as we discussed in the notes, that is Bab El Mandeb. It connects Red Sea to Gulf of Aden. So make a note, and we have Strait of Hormuz between Gulf and the Oman. This is another choke point in the Indian Ocean. Yes. So friends, now we will move to another paragraph. So by setting up a port in the Gadwar. So this is the port by the China in the Pakistan. So 2017, it is a public-private partnership with Sri Lanka. So finally, it went to the into the debt trap. So which country went to the debt trap? It is the Sri Lanka, friends. So in Maldives also they are mentioning some of the key progress. So in the necklace of diamond, it is the counter by the India, right? So counter by the Indian government, um, that we should know. It counters China's string of pearls strategy. So necklace of diamond. Assumption Island in Sicily. We have already discussed this concept, right? So Assumption Islands in Chile is very important. So Chabar port in the Iran. This thing you should know to counter the Gadwar, as we discussed, and some of the port by the Oman, this DQM port. So in the Singapore, especially, we have discussed the bilateral agreement with the Changi Naval Base. I hope we have got some clarity in this. And so BrahMos supersonic missile to Philippines and Vietnam, right? So this is a collaboration. So when it comes to Japan collaboration, that is AAGC, and when it comes to different countries, we have Quad. So very important things, right? And we have good relationship with the, so this paragraph, friends. 5 Central Asian countries that we should know. So to counter these things. So friends, overall, it is the grand of chessboard. So if you observe, Indian Ocean is the chessboard, and who are the players? India is one of the player, and China is another key player. So in the dominance of both things, both sides, like China and India, we have the game of dominance as well as influence in the Indian Ocean between India and China. So it is the global political order. So India is trying to counter this China strategy, that is string of pearls, with the help of necklace diamond and different mixed strategies, including maritime alliances and military cooperation, building partnership with other nations in the Indian Ocean. So that is the step by the Indian government, and India's approach to collaboration, especially, right. So abiding by the these things they are mentioning, and Chinese investment is more in comparison to the, that is one of the gap with respect to India. And moreover, so we have some of the challenges faced by the Indian government, like trust issues, and we will discuss in detail in our notes. So we will conclude this paragraph. So to overcome such type of hurdles, like India should address internal issues such as economic growth and political instability and maritime modernization of military and maritime strategies on urgent basis. This is overall, it is a good solution, and it is a way forward also. And right, so we can see how both nations will cooperate. So this is the ending by the author. So friends, thanks to the author, and we will move to our discussion in the part. So that is, yes. So friends, now if you see some of the challenges, like China is the economic might. So they are mentioning 225 million investment in the BRI. When it comes to India's efforts, it is a big effort. So India is a very small things in the, with respect to Indian investment in the necklace of diamond things, and a lack of trust. So India's studies are sometimes perceived as a reactive, friends, and insufficient compared to the China's proactive approach. So in the global countries, the global countries will feel that should be, it is a trustworthy. India takes some of the initiatives, but it will not implement in the set time. So that is the one thing, one drawback. So we are lacking the trust. And internal issues, especially we have economic and political instability in India, right? So that is also one of the drawback with respect to implementation of these strategies. And environmental concerns like climate change and sustainable resources. So this is the general challenge. So friends, now we will see some of the way forward. So how we can counter these string of pearls and entire China. So we should modernize our military and maritime capabilities, especially naval, because Indian Ocean related to the navy, right? So we should focus in the naval strength and surveillance infrastructure and strengthening alliances. So we are right now deepening with the relation with the Quad countries, and we are working on the AAGC operation, like Japan and some South Asian nations, like exporting that BrahMos missiles. Everything we are focusing on the strengthening of our alliances. That is the good things. And economic growth, so especially both the domestic strength and to fund the strategic initiatives, that is very important. So we should also consider that economic growth. And diplomatic engagement, like building trust and partnership with the neighboring nations, like especially improving this um, so actist actist policy we are following. So that is very important. So these things we should know. So this is the way forward. Finally, we can counter, we can conclude like this. So there is a lot of contest as in the chessboard. So this geopolitical contest resembles the game chessboard, with India and China as the key players. We know all. So while China's string of pearls focus on the economic and military expansion, China focusing on the economic as well as military expansions. When it comes to India's necklace of diamond things, so it is focusing on the partnership and adherence to the international laws. For India to maintain this strategic edge and must balance the domestic challenges with proactive regional engagement. So, like this, we can conclude, friends, and we will see some of the questions related to this Indian Ocean. So, yes, friends, I hope we have got some of the clarity with respect to Indian Ocean concepts. So, some of the relevant questions, friends. Indian Ocean region is the center of geopolitical and economic interest in the world. So, you should discuss. I hope no need to revise the entire things. You can go through once again the video. When it comes to second question, what are the implications of China's BRI on India's strategic as well as economic interest? So you should know the challenges faced by the India with the aggressive nature of China's BRI. So that we can write easy way. When it comes to next question, Indian Ocean.
I
I Indian Ocean is often referred to as world of energy highway. That is correct. Discuss the strategic importance of choke points, friends. So I have discussed three important choke points. So you should mention that one and some of the geopolitical like borders, how they are connecting with Red Sea. You should know. You should mention in the clearly some of the background. Then you can go the importance of choke points, especially how much percentage of trade is going in oil and overall trade and how it is helping these choke points that you can mention importance and implication for the global trade and energy that also you can easily. So friends, we have already discussed one of the table in the notes, that is comparison between BRI and AIGC. So here they're particularly asking about what are the objectives, what are the funding and the geopolitical implications. So I have not discussed this funding, so remaining parts I have covered. So deep dive yourself by googling it and critically evaluate the role of quad in maintaining balance of power in Indian Ocean. So friends, it is out of the topic, right? So I have already told that quad is a big concept, and even though we can write some of the general points based upon these things, and but they are asking for the evaluate the role. Critically evaluate means you should criticize the gaps. Make sure that. So now we will see some of the questions like MCQs for prelims. In the context of Indian Ocean Rim Association, consider the following statements. India, Australia, Indonesia are members of IORA. IORA promotes sustainable development and cooperation among the bordering countries. Friends, we can easily, whenever there is India, India always pitches for the sustainable development and cooperation. So that is the correct statement. And whether these Indonesia and Australia are member of Indian IORA. Friends, Australia is the, if we observe the fundamentals, Indian Ocean borders, right, borders with Australia in the east. So in the west we have Africa, in the east we have Australia. So definitely it should come. And at the same time, Indian, that is Indonesia also is a part of the Indian Ocean. So definitely that should be the member of this IORA. When it comes to choke points, friends, very very important. So these are the trade like strategic points with respect to trade. Got it? So which are the part of this Indian Ocean region they are mentioning? So Strait of Hormuz, we all know. Strait of Malacca is a part. Bab el Mandeb. So Panama Canal is not part of this Indian Ocean region. So answer would be 1, 2, 3. So consider the following statements regarding to necklace of diamond strategy, India's necklace of diamond strategy. It involves development of ports including countries like Iran and Oman. Okay, it aimed at the China's countering the China's string of pearls strategy. So friends, we have Oman, one of the port like UQM, right? So in Iran, we have port like which port, friends? Mention in the chat box. That is Chabar to counter Gwadar in Pakistan. So both are correct. So this one, friends, IOC, Indian Ocean Commission, is one of the key organization in Indian Ocean region. IOC is the one of the key organization. Another organization is the IORA. So what are the members they are asking? So in IOC, so friends, Indian Ocean. So generally people believe Madagascar in Indian Ocean, Maldives believe in Indian Ocean, Seychelles, Mauritius. So they will go for D option. But Maldives is not part of this IOC, even though it is an island country. So it is not part of Indian Ocean Commission. So friends, so the answer would be C. So there are five countries. The three are this one, and another two are, one is the France in Reunion Island, and another one is that is something I'm not able to recollect. Friends, go through these five countries. So, but mainly ensure Maldives is not a member country. They will confuse you in MCQs. So, this is the general question. What are the which of the following are environmental concern associated with the Indian Ocean? So, these are general environmental concerns with respect to any ocean. So, coral bleaching due to rising sea temperature, that is correct, and overfishing and depletion of marine biodiversity, that is also correct, and pollution from the oil spills as well as plastic waste. So friends, all are correct. So we'll go for the option D. So friends, I hope if you loved this video, just give a like and share your opinion as part of comment in the below this video. So friends, see you in the next video.